the law is changed, successfully implementing repeal and assimilating openly homosexual Marines into the tightly woven fabric of our combat units has strong potential for disruption at the small unit level, as it will no doubt divert leadership attention away from an almost singular focus of preparing units for combat. I do not know how distracting that effort would be, nor how much risk it portends. I cannot reconcile nor turn my back on the negative perceptions held by our Marines who are most engaged in the hard work of day-to-day operations in Afghanistan. We asked for their opinions, and they gave them to us. Their message is that the potential exists for disruption to the successful execution of our current combat mission should repeal be implemented at this time. In the final analysis, I'm faced with two questions. The first is, could we? Could we implement repeal at this time? The answer is yes. Despite the challenges I have briefly outlined above, at the end of the day, we are Marines. Should Congress change the law, then our nation's Marine Corps will faithfully follow the law. Marine Corps authorities, even its very existence in law, flow directly from Congress. I promise you that we will follow the law. The second question is, should we at this time? Based on what I know about the very tough fight in Afghanistan, the almost singular focus of our combat forces as they train up and deploy into theater, the necessary tightly woven culture of those combat forces that we are asking so much of at this time, and finally the direct feedback from the survey, my recommendation is that we should not implement repeal at this time.
I believe that the implementation of the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell in the near term will, one, add another level of stress to an already stretched force, two, be more difficult in our combat arms units, and three, be more difficult for the Army than the report suggests.
With the exception of the moderate risk associated with projected retention in some Navy irregular warfare specialties, I assess the risk to readiness, effectiveness, and cohesion of the Navy to be low.
Still, it is difficult for me as a member of the Joint Chiefs to recommend placing any additional discretionary demands on our leadership cadres in Afghanistan at this particularly demanding time. I therefore recommend deferring full implementation and certification until 2012.